Take a look around the room you're in. There's probably an empty water bottle somewhere, an old phone charger stuffed in a drawer, a broken pair of headphones, maybe a worn-out t-shirt you're planning to donate. Now think about this. What happened after you stopped using those things? Most people would say they became trash. End of story. But what if I told you that, for many companies, your purchase isn't actually the end of the business. It's just the beginning of another one, because hidden behind almost everything you throw away is a massive global industry worth hundreds of billions of dollars, an industry that most people never think about. One where companies make money from your old electronics, your empty soda cans, your used clothes, your cardboard boxes, and even your food waste. In fact, some businesses make more money after you're finished with a product than they did when they sold it to you. And once you see how it works, you'll never look at your trash the same way again. Most people think products have a simple life cycle. A company makes something, you buy it, you use it, then you throw it away. The story ends there. But companies see something completely different. To them, every product has multiple lives. The first life is obvious, selling it. The second life is where things get interesting, recovering what's left behind. Let's start with something almost everyone has thrown away, an aluminum soda can. Imagine you finish drinking a can of Coca-Cola. You toss it into a recycling bin without thinking twice. It disappears, or at least that's what it seems like. In reality, that can is incredibly valuable. Aluminum is one of the few materials that can be recycled over and over again without losing much of its quality. That means yesterday's soda can become tomorrow's soda can. Instead of mining new aluminum from the ground, manufacturers can melt down old cans and use the material again. Recycling aluminum also uses far less energy than producing new aluminum from raw ore. For beverage companies, that creates a powerful incentive. Every can recovered means lower material costs somewhere in the supply chain. Suddenly, your empty can isn't waste, it's inventory. The same idea applies to cardboard. Think about how many Amazon boxes arrive at homes every single day. Once the package is opened, the box often ends up in a recycling bin. But cardboard has value. Recycling companies collect it, process it, and sell it back to manufacturers that turn it into new packaging. As online shopping continues to grow, the demand for recycled cardboard keeps growing with it. The box you throw away today could return next month, carrying someone else's order. Now let's talk about electronics. Your old smartphone may not turn on anymore. Its screen might be cracked. The battery barely lasts an hour. To you, it's junk. To a recycling company, it's something entirely different. Inside almost every smartphone are tiny amounts of gold, silver, copper, palladium, cobalt, and rare earth metals. One phone doesn't contain much, but millions of discarded phones do. Companies specialize in recovering these valuable materials. They carefully dismantle devices, separate components, and extract metals that can be reused in new electronics. Urban mining, as it's sometimes called, has become an industry of its own. Instead of digging deeper into the earth, companies dig through yesterday's technology. And as electronic waste grows every year, so does the business built around recovering it. But sometimes companies don't even wait for you to throw products away. They encourage it. Think about trade-in programs. Apple, Samsung, Google, car manufacturers, retailers. They all offer ways to return old products when buying new ones. At first, this looks like great customer service, and it certainly benefits customers, but it also benefits the companies. Returned products can be refurbished and sold again. Working components can be reused. Valuable materials can be recovered. Even products beyond repair often contain parts worth salvaging. A phone isn't simply discarded. It's carefully sorted into assets. One device might become spare parts. Another becomes refurbished inventory. Another becomes recycled materials. Very little goes completely to waste. Then, there are clothes. The fashion industry produces enormous amounts of waste every year. But an old shirt doesn't necessarily disappear after you donate it. Some clothing is resold in secondhand stores. Some is exported to international markets. Some is shredded into fibers for insulation, furniture stuffing, or industrial materials. Even clothing that's too damaged to wear can still have economic value. Entire businesses exist simply to sort and process used textiles. The same pair of jeans can generate revenue multiple times before finally reaching the end of its life. Food waste has created another massive industry. Restaurants throw away leftovers. Supermarkets discard produce. Factories generate food byproducts. To most people, this sounds like garbage. But companies increasingly see opportunity. Some food waste becomes animal feed. Some becomes compost. Some is converted into biofuels. Some generates electricity through anaerobic digestion facilities. Even what can't be eaten may still produce value somewhere else. One company's waste becomes another company's raw material. This idea has a name: the circular economy. Instead of following the traditional model of make, use, and throw away, companies try to keep materials circulating for as long as possible. Every additional use reduces the need for new raw materials. It lowers costs, it creates new businesses, and it opens entirely new sources of revenue. Of course, not every company does this perfectly. Many products still end up in landfills. Plastic pollution remains a global challenge. Electronic waste continues to grow, but the financial incentive to recover materials becomes stronger every year. Why? Because raw materials are expensive. Mining is expensive. Transportation is expensive. Energy is expensive. Recovering existing materials is often cheaper than starting from scratch, and that changes how companies think about waste. Perhaps the most surprising example comes from manufacturing itself. Factories generate enormous amounts of scrap material during production: metal shavings, plastic trimmings, wood offcuts, glass fragments. Years ago, much of it was simply discarded. Today, companies increasingly collect, sort, and sell those leftovers. What once represented a cost has become another revenue stream. Even garbage inside factories has a market. Some companies have gone even further. They've built entire business models around other people's waste. Waste management companies don't simply collect trash. They sort it, process it, recover valuable materials, generate energy, sell recycled commodities. Landfills themselves can produce methane gas, which is captured and used to generate electricity. Even a landfill can become an energy business. This changes the way successful companies view products. They're no longer asking only one question: how do we sell this? They're asking another one too: what happens after the customer is finished with it? The companies that answer that question best don't just create products. They create systems. Systems where materials keep moving, products keep generating value, and what looks like the end of one transaction quietly becomes the beginning of another. That's a powerful advantage most customers never notice, because the answer often creates entirely new opportunities. The companies that understand this best don't just design products for customers. They design them for recovery. They think about how easily materials can be separated, which components can be reused, which metals can be extracted, how expensive recycling will be years later. The product's end becomes part of its beginning. So the next time you throw away a soda can, recycle a cardboard box, trade in an old phone, or donate clothes you no longer wear, remember this: you may be finished with that product, but someone else's business is just getting started. Because in today's economy, waste isn't always waste. Sometimes it's inventory waiting to be discovered. Sometimes it's tomorrow's raw material. Sometimes it's the beginning of another product's journey. And sometimes, the quiet business behind everything you throw away is worth far more than the thing itself ever was.